Hey, this is Sammy Loco podcast number 95. I'm your host, Sammy Loco, and I'm here with, want to introduce yourself?
Nomad Fox, rapper, producer, do graphic design, video stuff, all around creative, I guess.
Okay. So what came up with the name as far as Nomad Fox? Where do that come from?
It's honest, it's honestly kind of a nerdy answer, but fuck it. The Nomad part came from this cartoon I used to watch like a lot growing up called Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
And like the main character, Aang, was like an air nomad. And I
Okay.
fucked with Aang. He was cool as hell. So I was like, I took that. And then the Fox part came from Naruto.
Okay. All right. That makes sense then. Makes sense.
Let's combine them. Because at that time that I picked the name, I was just fucking with those two shows heavy. So I'm like, let me
So,
incorporate.
so is that by far your favorite anime out there, cartoon ever? There's no
Those
Dragon Ball Z?
two and Attack on Titan, like top
Okay.
for sure. No doubt.
Mm. Okay. I guess that makes sense because some people that has avatar names named after characters and stuff like that. Some people say they pick the name because of other things, but that makes perfect sense then. Where are you from? Like originally from, and where you at now?
So I was born in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Mm,
Lived there till I was like 9 years old. Then I moved to Flint. That's where I really like grew up, I'd say. Flint,
mm.
Michigan. Then like when I turned like 18, or I was really close to like 19. It was like about a month before my 19th birthday. I moved back to Virginia, lived there
Mm.
for a couple years. And then it was like summer of 2020 when I moved out here to Colorado. So right now I'm in Colorado.
Tell me something about growing up in Virginia Beach, because a lot of people just know it as they come there, they have some fun, they do a lot of crazy stuff, but a lot of people don't know much about Virginia Beach, like including me. I drove past a couple of spots, so I was like, "Oh, this is night and day from the beach and the hood." So, tell us something about Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach was cool, man. Like I was so young that I don't have like super distinct memories of living there.
Mm,
But like growing up there was super like diverse. I had like a lot of different friends. The neighborhood that I grew up in was always popping. Kids were just out there just wrecking havoc and shit, including me. So it was cool. Um, Living by the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean was also pretty dope. I used to go to the beach like a lot. And
how far away from the beach? Like probably an hour away, probably 40 minutes.
probably like 30, 40 minutes.
Okay.
But I was moving around a lot too. So like at one point we were staying in an apartment that was like super, super close to the beach. It was like 10, 15 minutes away. And then, we just kind of kept moving around a lot. So definitely a nomad in that sense.
What about Flint, Michigan? A lot of things have been said about Flint, Michigan with the water crisis and just knowing like people get bodied up there like crazy.
Yeah.
How
Used to be
you
a,
avoid that?
I was never really like the dude to really get into any like beefs with anybody, any like street shit, really.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's really all about how you move there, man. Like, if you're just minding your business and doing your thing, nobody's really gonna mess with you as
Mhm.
long as you're like in the right places at the right time too. Um, my experience there, it was cool. It was cool. I met a lot of great people. Some of my like deepest connections and bonds definitely happened there. As far as like the water crisis and stuff, like that was definitely like not cool.
Mhm.
It's fuck Rick Snyder, honestly. Anybody from Michigan would say that.
Okay.
Um, but I just had to kind of do what I had to do to prevent myself from getting poisoned by the water and shit.
That's
I
crazy.
was never really a tap water dude to begin with, though, thankfully. It's on the
I
bottom.
was, but then after a while, when you get older, you start realizing what coming out the pipes and it's rust and all types of shit in there. It's
Yeah.
like, how was we surviving off of this water? Like that's just crazy to me. That,
It's
that's
crazy
wild.
how like a lot of these people in power just really didn't give a fuck, man. They were letting it happen. They were letting it happen silently for like years before like the media really caught on to the shit.
Damn.
So it's fucked up.
All right. So talking about your current destination, how can you explain Colorado? Because I just had a friend that just moved up there and he said he loves it. Like it's the best thing ever.
I really like it, man. Like just the air outside is like real crisp, man. Like almost everywhere you go, especially compared to like Flint. Like the air was just like always kind of like moist as hell. It was real damp outside all the time.
All right.
So it's just real crisp, dry air. Wherever you go, you'll see some mountains in the distance. Like the nature aspect of it is like it's good, bro. I really like it. I met some really dope people out here too so far, like some real cool, talented people. So, you know, it's all around pretty good energy. It's definitely a lot of white people. Won't cap. But, you know, it's cool though.
Okay, that's what's up. How does your music reflect where you're from? Like you say you're from 3 different places. How does that affect you as a musician?
I think it's really all about the feeling that I got from each place and like the different experiences I went through in each location and kind of like putting that into word and into sound in different ways. So each location definitely like brings out like a different side to me, I'd say. Like right now, I'm definitely in more like a singing pop mixed with rap type of thing. I think when I was in Michigan, I was definitely like strictly doing a lot of rap stuff. My style was like a little darker too. That also kind of reflected kind of just what I was generally going through there. And me kind of just wanted to leave at one point.
Gotcha. Speaking of that, you talk about a lot about your demons and, you know, to me, depression. How like tell us a little background story of that, like not being your therapist, but giving us people an insight of how you think when it comes to music.
I mean, I'm really just saying what I feel a lot of the time, just trying not to have any type of filter, just laying it out, but also being like a bit relatable at the same time. I'm always like trying to be conscious of that because you know, I'm not the only person listening to my music. Sometimes it feels that way, like when I'm just like wrapped up in like recording and like stuff like that. But I try to stay cognizant of that too. I've definitely touched on depression in like a few different songs, I'd say.
Yeah. Cycle Never Ends. That song really sticks out real a lot.
Which one?
The Cycle Never Ends.
Oh yeah, for sure. That one. I kind of with that one specifically, I feel like it was almost kind of all over the place lyrically, but in a good way. I feel like I was really just like when I was making that, I was just kind of like going through everything I was kind of thinking at the time and kind of feeling and wrapping it all in like one package. Yeah.
I mean, to me, I think that's part of your style though, because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just stay on topic, but I see a lot of people now, they're just, it seems like it's not punch-ins that I think you be doing, but it's just like, you know, you're just saying however you feel at the time, and then whatever is said on the track is what's said on the track. So
yeah. A lot of the times when I record too, I'll think like one line that I really like and then just kind of freestyle off that.
Okay. So do you write majority of your raps, or you just
I'm definitely not much of a writer, honestly, but I've been getting more into it lately. But usually freestyles, punch-ins, it's usually what I'll go for.
Is it much easier because a lot of people say they have to write, like everybody has different writing processes. I'll just use Not Strader, for example. Like he has to be in a mood for that.
Yeah.
And as much as I get on him about, yo, can I get a new song? Can I get a new song? And thinking that he's pretty much my personal entertainment. And fans think the same way. So, it takes a while for people to make songs. Like, that's just how it is. Is that the same way with you?
Yeah, man. I can't really force it. I can't really force it. Like it has to come natural for me. Like, cause I don't want to sound forced on the track.
Yes.
I want it vocally, I want everything to sound real natural, come off real clean. So I try not to force myself into it, but at the same time, I want to stay consistent.
Hmm.
So that's what's cool about kind of like my approach, but like just thinking of like one really good line and like going off of that and going off that energy, it kind of like lets me stay dynamic. And it's like, far as writing, I kind of like, I feel like I write in real time, like as I'm recording, I guess. Like I might record a line and then just like immediately come up with another one or like take a couple minutes, think about what I want to say next.
Hmm.
And then like once I have like a bunch of stuff together, I'll either keep it like that or I'll just like record it all in like a couple different takes with like that whole idea together.
Okay. So piecing everything together, that makes perfect sense now.
Yeah, I definitely treat it like a puzzle, man. So it's definitely a puzzle.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm not a rapper, but I understand. Like, you got to piece things together. Otherwise, you're not gonna sound as good. Speaking of influences, who influenced you growing up to say I want to be a rap star or a musician?
I've had a couple different influences, like, and not even just like rap, just like in general, the music I was listening to
Hmm.
really inspiring me. And like a couple kids I was like going to high school with and stuff, I saw they were like doing music, like specifically like rap shit. I think like a lot of people I was going to school with that were like doing that influenced me to actually like start it because like I didn't really start like actually rapping until I was like 17, 18, but I started producing when I was like, I want to say like 15. I like I got Fruity Loops on my computer. I'm not gonna say how, but I got it
Well,
on my
hey,
computer.
hey, I understand. I understand.
And I kind of just started messing around for a while. I was really influenced by like Flying Lotus when I first started out.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Definitely a big influence. I was doing it's kind of like a lot of weird experimental type shit.
Hmm.
I started slowly getting into like trap sound a little bit. And a lot of what I produce now is kind of like that sound, but I'm still trying to like experiment a bit and see what else fits me, what fits other people that I work with, what fits my voice.
Okay. So what about your producing? Like, how do you go into producing a beat compared to doing a song? Like, is it different or is the same method or what?
Always focus on my melodies first. Like
Hmm.
that's usually the first thing I lay down when I make a beat. Like either like some chords or some melodies. I always find like a synthesizer or something that I'm really, or like a certain sound that I'm really feeling. It kind of depends on like how I'm feeling that day, what sound I pick. And let's try to layer things, give it a little bit of structure, and I start adding some drums.
Okay. So what about as far as ah, like when it comes to your songs, do you produce all your songs together or you branch out and say, let me find a different producer because I'm feeling this, but I don't think I can get that sound?
I started out just like doing all my own shit for like a while,
Hmm.
but then I realized like I need to save time. Like I can't because there's so much that goes into like if you're trying to like pursue music as a career and it's like make money and figure out like the business and everything. There's so much that goes into it aside from just the music, especially if you're independent. So like because there's like the marketing, there's like creating the videos, there's like creating like album covers and single covers and stuff. It's the networking, all that kind of stuff. So I figured, or what the way I like to work with producers now is like getting like a beat from them and then kind of just like working with them on that beat because I still
Okay.
kind of like to have like a little bit of like creative direction with it and like get it to match whatever I'm doing vocally as best as possible. So like with this latest song I dropped, Red Room Freestyle, I work with this producer from the UK. His name's Laser Fox, and like
Oh, perfect match.
yeah, yeah. Like he
Okay.
said, or like I remember like one day he like posted like a beat he was working on like his Instagram story. I just like swiped up on it. I'm like, yo, this shit is kind of nice. What you doing with it? He ended up sending it to me. I recorded some stuff on it initially, sent it back to him. Then he messed with the beat more, then sent
Mm.
that back to me. Then I messed with the vocals more. And we kind of had like a back and forth kind of like creative approach to it. And that's kind of like how it became what it became. So when it comes to working with producers, I kind of like that type of workflow.
Okay. So speaking of that, because I was about to go to your director, talk about him. Uh, how does that work out? Because a lot of times, a lot of directors, they want money, or they just say, "Hey, we're gonna do this together." Or how do y'all work that plan out?
Me and Jamari, like that's been my homie for like years. Like we've been homies for like a while, and it's really just about helping each other grow and supporting each other. I do it like whatever I can do for him. He helps me out with like video stuff. We kind of teach each other different skills because with all my videos I've done so far, I've been like the one editing them. So I try to like pass off those different skills to him and like
So it's pretty much a
show him.
yeah, a given, a give and give, pretty much, not a take and a give. So
Yeah.
that's
And it's
tight.
like promoting everything he's doing too, man, because he's really fucking good, man. He's
I can
really, really
tell. I can tell. Speaking of the rhythm freestyle, what made you say I want to just pretty much put it as the red room? Like, look, I use in the closet, like, no pun intended. But like, what made you say I want to name it the red room freestyle?
what a couple months ago I bought like some color light bulbs in my room.
Hmm.
I was fucking with the red color a lot while I was recording, so I just started calling it the red room. And like I feel like a lot of the sounds I was making too fit that kind of like red, kind of darker atmosphere, especially red room freestyle. So I kind of like wanted to build around that aesthetic.
Okay.
What I'm doing musically, or what I'm doing like design wise for it too, the video stuff, just keeping it as like a consistent package.
Okay. Uh, how has 2020 treated you both musically and personally? Ask
2020 was
everybody.
like
Yeah.
it was like it was up and down like crazy, man. First 6 months definitely weren't bad at all for me. I was working a pretty decent job. Then I quit that job because it just kind of got a little miserable. I wasn't really
Mm,
messing with. I was doing like software engineering,
yeah.
and I saved up a bunch of money. Then I quit. Then I moved to Colorado, and I kind of didn't have a plan at all. I just knew I wanted to like focus on music like a lot because that's what I felt like. That's what my calling was. Just like doing anything creative for a living, really. I feel like I wasn't getting that where I was, so I said like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna make it happen myself." And moving to Colorado's definitely been up and down
Mm,
as far as like just living situations, as far as like getting to the money and stuff too. It's still definitely something I'm figuring out as I go, but at this point, I think I'm on an upward trajectory for sure.
how about as far as family and things like that? Like, how did that affect you?
Family,
Yeah.
um, I don't think. Do you mean as far as like in 2020 or like with music or?
With 2020, because a lot of people found out what relationships they had with everybody else. Nobody can go out, nobody can go partying no more. So those people you used to party with or talk to every day, they stop connecting with you or whatever the case may be.
I feel like I'm definitely introverted. I'm definitely
Okay,
an introvert.
same here.
I have like close circles that like I've always just been fucking with. And like the family, I feel like my relationship with them hasn't really like changed too much due to the pandemic. Um, I usually stick to myself a lot of the time, honestly. So it's been, in a way, it's been easier to manage those relationships too, because I can like just stay home and talk. I don't have to go anywhere.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Speaking of, future endeavors, how do you go about making music with everybody else, or are you key to say, hey, I want to go out and make some music with so and so, or those type of things?
Um, as far as recording, I like never go to studios at all. I'm always just recording at home. Um, and as far as like collaborations and stuff, I've been kind of doing it all digital. I haven't really done any like real life collabs or anything yet. Aside from like working with like photo people, like video people and stuff.
Who would you like to collab with?
Uh, definitely want to do a song with Strader for sure. I definitely want to do a song with him. There's a lot of people in my network that I just want to like create some shit with. Uh, there's this girl from the UK named Emma Cannon, bro. She's fire, man. She makes like UK garage and like pop type music. I
Hmm.
like discovered her like last year while I was just kind of like trying to like look for like new shit to listen to and get like inspired by. So I definitely like to do a song with her at one point. There's this dude named 98 who I just discovered recently.
Wow.
He's fucking fire. So I definitely want to link up with him too.
His name is 95?
98,
98,
98.
sorry, 98?
Yeah.
Never heard of him. Wait, you know where he's from?
He's from like Indianapolis, I think.
Oh, okay. Probably check him out then. Um, so we're gonna do pretty much that's local. We talked about that before. Well, actually a series of questions is either yes or no, or it's like, yeah, I don't know about that. So first that's local question is your favorite shoe.
Favorite shoe. Does that have to be one I've owned?
It could be, yeah, it can be that, yeah. Or you can just, one shoe that you never really got, but you really love.
Really want some Jordan ones, man. Jordan ones are
Everybody getting them right
some bread ones for sure. Either some
now.
bread ones or some Chicago ones. Those are
Mm-hmm.
definitely shoes I want to cop at some point. Um, I really like a lot of the Yeezys, honestly. I definitely want to cop like a pair of 350s, maybe like the pirate black ones. The 750s were fire too. He's got a lot of pretty cool silhouettes.
Okay. As long as it's not the Jesus sandals, I mean that'd be all right. Hook or verse?
I mean, hmm, probably hook. Probably hook.
Mm.
I have more fun. I mean, the hook is what brings people. I feel like the hook is what people remember the most about a song usually. So I feel like the hook requires special attention all times. Um, Usually, like with most songs, usually remember the hook first. Well, a lot of rap shit though is definitely like verses. Like if you're taking like a Kendrick Lamar or like a Cole or something, is you're probably more likely to like remember like verses or like topics they were talking about in the verses. But as far as a lot of the stuff I've been listening to lately, definitely hooks. And like what I've been creating too.
Okay. If you wasn't doing music, what will you be doing right now?
Something creative. I can't not do something creative. So I'll probably either be focusing in on like graphic design or like maybe like some type of video stuff, like video editing or like doing music videos for people.
Okay.
Or I'd start my own like software company or something.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. Sex dolls or a creature from another mother?
Huh?
A sex doll or a creature from another mother, meaning, a swamp beast or whatever, if you had to have sex with one.
What is a swap beast? What is that?
I don't know. Just alligator, whatever. A beast, pretty much.
Okay. Okay. Is the sex doll new or used?
That's a good question.
I'm
That's a
hoping it's
good.
new.
Hey, we're gonna say new then.
I can't trust my dick with a fucking alligator, man. Chomp that bitch off. I can't have that. I can't
So
have
I
those
get
type of problems. So I'll probably go with the sex doll.
okay. If you had $1 million and they said you had to do something out of this world, what would it be?
Mm. It would definitely be something to support artists for sure. Like maybe some type of like fund or something to like help people get their music out there, help people like record, get people like vocal coaches, teach people how to produce, just giving tools back to the community. I would definitely use it like that for sure. Or maybe even like a record label type of thing, but like maybe a label, but not forcing people into contracts, just like a tool to like help people out with their music and shit like that.
Okay.
Like as far as like giving people resources, funding people's like marketing, helping people create like album covers and like music videos and stuff like that. It's helping them find their audience.
What about as far as not ask everybody this, being independent or being on a major label? Which one would you say, if right now you had the opportunity, the money for independent or the money from a major, which one would you choose?
Right now, I'm definitely feeling independent, honestly. I just like having creative control of all my stuff. Um, I feel like being independent too. I feel like you're gonna be more busy, but at the same time, you just have more control of everything. All the money's coming back to you and like the people you like collaborate with and stuff. And I don't know, like the fame aspect, like that's cool, but of like being like on a major label or whatever. But at the same time, though, it's like I feel like that doesn't really matter too much as long as you have like a dedicated community that you're always engaging with. You know, the money will come either way, I think.
What would you say is your fan base? What type of personality? We already know it's a fox, but what type of personality? Because you have Beyonce, you got the Beehive, you got I can't think of nobody else. But yeah, like what kind of fan base you think you have?
Call them a foxtrot.
Fox.
Yeah,
explain
foxtrot militia, man.
explain that. Explain that to me.
Oh, that's not. I thought about this like a couple years ago. I just thought the shit sounded cool, so I kind of just like kept sticking with it. And for a long time, I didn't know what it was gonna be.
Mhm.
I think at this point, I'm slowly starting to figure it out more. I feel like the foxtrot is my community. It's the fans. It's the creatives. It's like anybody who's feeling independent, who wants to be like free from the shackles of this world, man.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I can't compare that to nobody else really. Um, I always had a feeling listening to music that you have a lot of, and I hope you don't take offense to this, but a lot of Juice World as far as uh I guess influences. So which one would you rather prefer? Rock and roll or punk rock?
Mm, mm. Like growing up, I didn't really. I feel like I listen to more like punk rock type of stuff than like traditional rock and roll, like classic rock.
Hmm.
Like I definitely grew up off like Linkin Park. They were definitely like some I was listening to, like Paramore for sure. They were one
Okay.
of my favorite bands. So I feel like a lot of influence honestly comes from that. For a long time, I didn't even listen to rap, and like Linkin Park honestly got me into rap a little bit. All the shit they were doing, and the album they did with Jay-Z.
I was about to say that was the merger right there because I didn't know who Linkin Park was. I knew who Green Day was, but I did not know who Linkin Park was. Only because of TRL back then, and you can call me white for that. But yeah, like that's the only reason I knew half of the, I guess you say punk rock type stuff anyway.
I definitely grew up off that kind of stuff, man. They're definitely influenced for sure.
So what do you see yourself see yourself at in 3 more years? Where you see yourself musically, spiritually, mentally at?
3 years, I see myself making a lot of merch, selling merch. I probably have released an album or two by then, doing a lot of shows, staying on my hustle, just building with people. And as far as personally, just finding inner peace, happiness, uh, maybe a girl, I don't know.
Hey, shoot your shot right now. You never know who somebody might be looking like, oh, damn, he's from Colorado. I'm right there too. I can drive there and beat him. Blah, blah, blah. You never know.
Never know, you never know. At the same time, though, like I don't know, bro. I'm kind of wary about it. Like, I hope I wouldn't want any of that to distract me from like my focus on all of this stuff.
A lot of people say that. Yeah, girl will come by, enjoy your time, unless she understands what you're doing, then
Yeah, that's why I'd want to get with a girl who's like doing the same shit as me, honestly. Just like somebody creative who's building and doing
Mhm.
their own thing, who's like independent.
I agree. That's why most people pass around the chicks in the industry because they already know how to maneuver and how to act. Not to be misogynistic, but they know where they can be at in the relationship. So I think that's very important.
That makes sense.
Wrapping up, tell them where they can find you at and where they can catch your songs at and etc.
I'm on Instagram, nomad.music underscore. I'm on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud. Just look up Nomad Fox. Got a new single out. It's called Red Room Freestyle. It's pretty fire. It's very fire. I will say so myself. I'm working on a little EP called Red Room Diaries. So be
Mhm.
on the lookout for that. Trying to drop a single like every like month or two too. So gonna be getting new music. So it's always something new with me. So just be on the lookout, look me up. Probably enjoy it. Probably like it.
So that's wrapping up podcast number 95. I'm your host, Sammy Loco, and we're out.